The Unbreakable Mind Protocol, Part 6 of 7. The military does not teach soldiers to be brave, it teaches them to make high-pressure situations feel familiar before they arrive. When something feels familiar, the brain stops treating it as a threat and starts treating it as a problem to solve. In the 1970s, psychologist Donald Meichenbaum developed a technique called stress inoculation training. The concept was borrowed directly from immunology. A vaccine introduces a controlled dose of a pathogen so the immune system can build a response before the real threat arrives. Stress inoculation does the same thing for the psychological immune system. Controlled, deliberate exposure to stressors, graduated, structured, and debriefed, builds neural pathways that treat similar future situations as familiar rather than catastrophic. And familiar situations do not trigger the full threat response. The brain skips the panic and moves directly to problem solving. The US military's SEER program, survival, evasion, resistance, escape, trained special operations candidates. It puts them through simulated capture, interrogation, and psychological pressure before deployment. Not to toughen them with experience, to inoculate them against the neurological freeze that occurs when catastrophic novelty is encountered unprepared. A soldier who has experienced simulated captivity does not treat real captivity as a completely novel threat. Their nervous system has partial familiarity, and partial familiarity is enough to keep the prefrontal cortex online when most people's would shut down. This principle does not require military application. Meichenbaum's original research applied it to surgery patients, athletes before championship performance, and executives before high-stakes negotiations. The three-phase structure is the same regardless of context. Phase 1. Understand the stress response you will face. Not avoid it, understand it. What will your body do? What will your mind produce? Name it in advance with the affect labeling from Part 2. Phase 2. Rehearse in conditions that approximate the stressor. Make the practice harder than the performance where possible. Phase 3. Debrief every rehearsal. What fired? What worked? What needs adjustment? The thing you are most afraid of performing in is the presentation, the confrontation, or the high-stakes decision. It is the environment where you historically freeze. You're afraid because it feels like a novel threat every time it arrives. Novel threats trigger the full stress cascade. The inoculation is to make it less novel. Rehearse in conditions that feel harder. Walk through the failure modes in advance. Use the silent pre-mortem from Part 5 of this series. Debrief every attempt regardless of outcome. You cannot inoculate against something you only ever encounter on the day it counts. The preparation has to happen before the day. It has to be uncomfortable enough. When the real situation arrives, your nervous system should say, I have been here before. Tomorrow is the final part, the complete daily architecture, how to stack all 6 systems into a structure that runs without requiring willpower.